is good. We should utilize for our teaching learning process, and since it is being recorded, I can start our class now, and others will be joining and they will be seeing with pleasure and lots of love on this lovable day, as our student nicely said, with best wishes to everybody on this auspicious Monday, 14th February 2022. And welcome to this Sweet 16 lecture, which we love most, and we also love those 40 soldiers whom we lost while working or while uh, fighting for for our nation at the borders on this auspicious day. Of course, we love our parents and children, everybody. All the best once again on this Trayodashi, Nityananda Trayodashi. I think that is fine. Okay. Now, just let me download the attendance and then share my screen, whether my screen is visible. Let me know, and then we will start the class on this lovable day. That is the reason I also kept this
Yes,
lecture
sir,
as a
it is visible.
Sweet 16. You see, lecture Sweet 16 on 14 February 2021, 9 a.m. Now the screen is visible. Shall I continue now?
Yes, sir.
Right. So on this Sweet 16 lovable day on Monday, 14th February, let me also tell you, I think we will be going to our midsem examinations, and these whatever we cover up to your last working day before midsem, I think that may be around 20th. Okay, so you'll be getting 2-3 more classes or lectures for us. So all those will be there, and in that you need not worry much. You will be writing only within 10 pages, some short question type 3-4. I will be giving some choice for that. Okay, 2-3 extra. And so that within one page you will be writing 3-4 questions, and then some medium size one question or like that, and then a big size or large size, which is medium size means two pages, right? And another one is a 3-4 pages of a large type of question. This is the way how that will be sufficient for 2 hours within 10 pages, so that you can scan, and other details of course we will be discussing further. Why I told this is some of our other students, your seniors, also asked in the last class. Otherwise, I used to explain to them this pattern of question and other things on the last day before midsem examination. Okay, don't worry. If you have any doubts, we can discuss further. As I told you, my beloved students, we'll be seeing some of these workings also, how this depilaring and other workings are done. But we are straight away going into the recent technology of continuous minor instead of discussing other issues. Other issues also I will be telling you in between, and some of those details of the mining method I will be showing you. And already you have seen with different combination of methods of mining, whether it is with load all dumpers or side discharge loaders, when there are some galleries, because now I am not describing again those things which are available in the textbook or the reference and some materials, whatever are there. Then how to provide, if it is a panel, if it is a, I hope you are able to see this. I am considering this as a mine, a board and pillar panel. Now it is up to you to consider this as a one panel. Then here we are providing, and from one side, I mean, it is easy to show through some pen or like that. Okay, so this is a intake airway. It will go like this. Then we will have a stoppings in between, right? In between. Then other side, when you are working somewhere here, one LSD here, second LSD here, third, fourth, whatever the way you make the layouts, those are all available in the in any standard textbooks, whatever we have. But you should know about why it is done and how it is being done. Okay. Then even transport can be through your belt conveyor or a rope haulage system. Okay, and then if it is a LHD, then suppose LHD is working at this place. Now from LHD within 90 meter is a cable drum reel will be there. So that means it can move 90 meter that side, 90 meter this side of the gate and box or the whatever the switch, electrical switches we provide, that is called in mining terminology as a gate and box, where that electrical this air circuit breaker over there are some relays and other things are provided for the safety of the electrical system. Right, all those things you'll be learning in machine mining. I mean mining machinery. Okay, but we can discuss so many things since I was working in a very big mechanized mines. I can give all that details also. Then that will be unloading either onto the belt conveyor straight away or some face conveyors like system, or it can be unloading onto the tubs, and that tubs can be hauled from there. It pushed to somewhere and then it is taken to the direct haulage and then to the main and trunk roadways, to the main inclines or the shaft, whatever they have. This is the way how it is done. For that manpower issues, I will be telling you within after this before your midsem itself, so that you should be in a position to plan for extraction and getting some type of designing the panel and then giving the manpower and how much production you can achieve from that. If you are given with some conditions of the mines, this is the way how you can do that. And here, since I want you to know the latest things, I am showing you this already you have seen how the technology of continuous miner and then bolting. And I think in the last class we discussed about this. That means these geomining situations, when it is given to you, you should be in a position to decide if this is a panel or this is a thickness of the seam and then this much is a depth cover with this much production I want from a panel with this type of machinery of all those things, and you should be in a position to decide which machinery may be better and how much manpower required, how much production we get, right? So here already you must have seen it is allowed to have 6 meter width in the development gallery. Who is to start with? Let me know your answer here itself now. Who can tell? 6 meter width will it be allowed in any mine by DGMS or by Indian mining law? I hope everybody is able to hear me on this lovable day, Monday. Monday to Shiva ka din hota hai, but on this day we lost our 40 loud beloved soldiers also. Okay, right. Anybody want to say? Otherwise, don't worry, we can talk after that break. Now you see. Now this is the way how you are also supposed to plan yourself. Yes, anybody want to say?
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I am Ayush. Sir. I want to say that
Very good.
about this.
Ayush, batai.
Sir, if rock strata is very hard and
Right.
the incubation period of that coal is less, very more, then we can do the permission from DGMS and we can do more than 6 meter. If
Right.
DGMS permit.
Right. Anybody want to respond? Something more they want to give? Any information? Otherwise, it's okay. I said rightly. Now, as per regulation, already you have seen from coal mines regulation also, I can show once again, but it is not required now. There, you should not have any development gallery beyond 4.8 meters. Okay, but that was made keeping our traditional or conventional methods. Now we are using most sophisticated or most modern technologies like we need not stay or we need not keep maximum or many number of our miners. For manual mining, we used to keep 20–30% working. Can you imagine? At the working phase of 4.2 meter width gallery or 3.6 meter width gallery, when we blast once, we will be getting around how much coal we get. That is a question for you, my beloved students. Now you please note down. I am not writing here, but I should write then, right? Now here, if you have a gallery That means now you are working it. It can be by any method. That the size is now you take to be more simple to understand 4 meter wide gallery, and we are blasting 1.5 meters per blast. Right. Then how much coal that you are getting? That this is a 3 meter height. 3 meter height of working, then how much coal we get from it, how much coal, and for extraction of this now, that is for coal evacuation from face and from panel, right, and to surface, all these things we should know about it. Okay, so first let us be ready later. Don't need to tell now. So how many tons of coal that we expect from it? Okay, right. Meanwhile, continuing further. Okay, this is the panel, right? Yeah, panel, where now you just imagine, right? This is your panel, and then here we are using this for it can be a development panel. Now we are talking about the depillering, right? We are extracting this, and then here now there can be even your some trunk roadways which were driven or which may be used as a conveyor roadway here, right? Or it can be a track like a railway track. Okay, then we are using a direct haulage, or if it is along the straight direction, we were using endless haulage, right? All other arrangements also just I am trying to explain to you. Then now from here you may be taking the intake airway from here or from here, right? Now there's a blue color is shown as an intake in general, and this red color as a return. Now you can see here, and in between you have this ventilation stoppings. This can be by a temporary, even a brick wall, or otherwise it can be bratis cloth, or this ventilation can be an auxiliary at the end. Well, there are so many ways how you can do that, right? And then in this, what is a system of their extraction, right? So this is a dip direction. These are the barriers and the 3 rows of pillars, right? This is 8 cross cut, 9, 10, whatever the number they have given in that mine. And then this is 124, 125, 126, right, along the levels, and these are the dip directions, right? Then in this diagonal line of extraction is followed. This is in the sub panel A, right? And their method of extraction, we are more interested in the method of extraction based on review of the strata behavior in previous panels, right? Field investigation in deploying workings. In fact, why I'm giving this is I've been involved in this since 1980s, right? From the notorious Chercha accident of the, longwall mining, when it was a notorious disaster, or you can not a disaster, as a failure of longwall mining at that mine. Later, we recommended for not using longwall and going for depillering, and then that from Ministry of Mines as a scientist, I was doing a lot of investigations in that mines, and also from NIT Rourkela recently, that reference I am giving you here. Now, with all that, panel 122 LW is proposed, and splitting and slicing, maintaining 70-degree angle from the split axis. This 70-degree, you please note down somewhere. It can be 45-degree, 50, 60. Regarding this, lot of work was done. You please note down again by Professor SP Mathur, right? Already you have, I have given a reference of that. You can also go through that. I have given good examples, and he is also famous for more indigenous methods of semi-mechanization, promoting semi-mechanization as a CMD of ECL, CMPDI, SECL, and as advisor of Ministry of Coal for a long time, and retired later as a professor in Bilaspur Engineering College, where I was also there for some time, helping him in some of the classes. Now, in 1990s, early 90s, method of working has been adopted successfully for already exhausted panel with continuous miner. Pillar is split into 3 parts. Now you can, I have shown you all that methods, that models what we have in mining engineering department of NIT Rourkela. That models also I've shown you, my beloved students. There you have seen there may be one split or like that, depending on the size of the pillar, that can be made into two splits or whatever. But ultimately, when you extract a pillar, that total extracted area at the GOF, that should not be more than like 100 square meters and something like that, based on 90 square meter, right? Based on our own experiences in the previous panels also it was observed. Otherwise, even there is more area exposed near the GOF edge, right? Then there is more chance of stress built up. And then since our persons are working near the GOF edge, whether it is in the slices during extraction, we want less number of persons to be exposed. And at the same time, we want it to be more safe and stable. These are the reasons why all these things are there. And now the pillar is split at this place into the three parts during depilling stage, and that is called as a fenders, having 10-meter on dip side with aid of course, continuous miner, already I told you, and that video clippings also you have seen it. Each split is extracted during slicing operation, leaving rib pillars of around 3 and 3.5 meter in panel B, panel A, depending on the size and of course of the depth cover, other things we decide. Again is the GOF side by making the slices of 7 meters. Now you need not worry much of that 4-meter width, 5-meter width and other things, when you can, as rightly said by our friend, a very good friend on this lovable day, 14th February 2022, that when your roof is very good, so and if it is permitting you, right, as far as stability is concerned, we can go by for a little bit more width, especially at the slices when that slice is supposed to stand for only 1 or 2 shifts, right? And later that is going into the GOF. So even safety factor required is also very less. All those things are there in deciding that. Even we do modeling also in deciding whether 6-meter or 7-meter, which may be more appropriate with how much is a rib size. All those things you will be learning, my beloved students of strata control. I mean underground coal mining methods in other courses also, right? And leaving a snook of about 3.3 to 5 meter again is the GOF area, right? Here the snook means that is also a rib, but it is on the other side near the gallery. So that will be about 3.3 to 5 meters, right? So why it is up to 5 meter, now you can see from the figure also I will show you. Now the sub panel A is having 15 pillars of 45 meter by 50 meter, center to center, that is a rectangular, right? Extraction height is maximum 3.8 meters. Now you need not worry much here because when it is a development height is restricted up to 3 meter. Otherwise, when you are depillering it, we have done in so many mines, right? Not only in this mine, so many mines, even by digging, right? That is also called as a dinting, D-I-N-T, dinting. Okay, maybe by a continuous miner. Otherwise, in the conventional method also, it is easy for you if along the floor there is 0.5 meter or something like.
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Sir, you are not audible, sir. Sir, sir, you are not audible, sir.
Sir, you can try leaving and joining again. That might work.
Sir, at present you are muted, sir.
Your microphone, sir. I guess that then you will be audible.
Sir, still you are not audible, sir. Shashwat, it is better to call sir now.
Yeah, I'm calling. Hello, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
On now. Please bear with me because this type of problems are coming many times. And this is one of the best solution what we could see or we followed without wasting the time. Here, just to explain about the method of extraction, whether it is in the panel A, panel B, there are two splits, and this is called the snook, and there are ribs. Now we have 7-meter wide slices, and this is cut twice. One cut 3.5 meter width, and this another cut. So this is how this is extracted, leaving a rib of 3.5 meters. Right? And same way, this is in the subpanel A, 122 L. That is a L is representing the level. In general, this is a nomenclature terminology used. And at the group edges, when we extract at this place, as you are seeing through this my mouse, this will become the group edge. When this is a group side, then each stroke is 10-meter width of this 3 strokes in a pillar with 6-meter wide split gallery, and these edges are supported by the breaker line supports. Again, as a bolting is being used, it's 2.4-meter long bolts. Otherwise, in conventional system, this scope support is in general skin-to-skin chop with corner props, and that also limits and restricts person. When it is a conventional mining, we may be using more than 10 to 20 miners, or we used to call as a coal filler. FILLER, filler, coal filler. That means they are filling manually into the basket. They are working there, and this is the way how traditionally we have been using our GoFed support. But with this mechanization, where we have very limited number of persons working at the GoFed, also even through remote machines like continuous miners or even remote load hub dumpers, even that dumper may have, or especially our continuous miners may have a wide remote connection or otherwise wireless connection. So this much mechanization now we have done. In that way, since there are no many number of persons working at near the base, then there is no point of skin to skin type of chop props and withdrawing those things. In that way, we have worked out, our research institution, where I was also a part in PMRS, PMRI, and NIRM, etc. This type of open supports in the mechanized working. Now, the same thing in the sub-panel B, with the size of the pillar and other things, you can see how these tubes and 7-meter width slices, how these are planned, you can see that. And this is what is the total mine plan by without students of underground coal mining. And the sections also I am showing you section A and section EB in this, which is developed on the pillars in different areas. Now, to continue further, now you can see in the section A, these are so many panels. These are extracted from panel 1E, 2E, like that. And dip is 1 in 18. And now you can see this is a still very, very typical situation in the church or in many mines. Of course, after 2 minutes we will break, don't worry, just explaining this. 130 meter is the maximum thickness of the steel from 40 meter, and there was no steel. We used to observe subsidence on the surface, but after this much of steel exceeding 40 meter, there was no subsidence due to this. But this is not a very good indication in a caving panel, and these are our present working panel. Then here we can see that is the reason why after these investigations, I also recommended to stop this wooden pillar without stowing. Otherwise, this may lead to some disaster later when all these panels are extracted without proper caving and filling of gold up to the surface. If it is not settled down, all this may collapse with creep and other things and will become another massacre or another disaster which happened in South Africa, which led to formulation of pillar strength formulas like that. And of course, I did not ask you, I think we discussed what technology used as alternative to steel for instruction causing problems in underground coal mills, whatever. Let us leave that. Now here you see in this panel, 120 meter is there before the below the sea in 122 panel, and seam is 3.5 to 4 meter thickness and no subsidence. After 127 meters still, there is again 117 meters from the surface above the sea. But this is not cave, and this is the situation in that panel. And now, before continuing further, I would like to have a break here. How they design these pillars and other things we will discuss further. Now, any doubts you can ask. I'm just going into it. Once again for a second. Yes, now students, any doubts? We are trying to see how we are deciding or designing and what is the method of extraction with the latest technology of continuous miners. Not just a theoretical here and there, but from the mine field investigation reports itself, which we have done from NIT Rourkela recently. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I will continue further. If there is no doubt, just as a break, few minutes, I would like to show you a final report on design and strata monitoring, designing of the refilling workings and then it's monitoring all those things. This is that mine that I have shown you, my beloved students. You can see how these props in chalk iron frame and then wooden pieces are there. Of course, he is our, he is a general manager, additional general manager or a deputy general manager now. There working, and we are there to investigate and give this design. That's what. Along with our assistant professors, associate professors from ECE and computer science department. Already I told you, Dr. Elvira and Dr. Yamila. And of course, a couple of years before, we did that investigation. And of course, I told you, as a principal investigator, all these investigative reports are not supposed to be provided to others other than to the mine or the government agency. But academic interest, we can discuss on all these so that given the conditions, you should be in a position to design the method of working. Now, this mine, as I told you, is belonging to our Southeastern Coalfield Limited in Baikunthpur area. And there it is, before this, the methods were with LSDs and other things. Otherwise, once we lost our longwall panel in 1980, we discontinued longwall mining there. And later, it's continuous miner, how it is being done. Now, in these conditions of that mine, as we have seen, I'm showing you the report now, this section of the total mine, because I want you to have a view of the total mine, how it appears, maybe the incline, and then we can see how this red color shows the return airway, right? And then these different colors, if they have means they have different themes. Okay, they are shown. And this green color, whatever is showing, is the barriers. Now you can see this is the panel size. One panel, this is another panel, and now you can see this is another panel. And this is a panel what now we are discussing about panel 1, sub-panel B, sub-panel A, these two, like L shape, where I have provided you this A and B cross section. There may be some surface features, other things, don't worry about that. And now these were that long wall panels before, now you can see here, right? So we are not discussing at present. Now, these are the sections what I have shown you, and distillery, and its details already you have seen it. And these are the sub-panel A, B. Now coming to the estimation of, this is a barrier pillar and how the sizes should be decided. At present, I don't expect you to be expert in all these calculations, as these are taken up in the rock mechanics, geomechanics also. But now you should know that different approaches, procedures, how it is done. That's what is more important. Where we design this with a safety factor more than 2, where pillar strength by pillar stress ratio, and this can be by empirical formulation or it can be by numerical modeling. With so many approaches we use it. The strength of the pillar, this is again one of our beloved scientists, former colleague of PMRS, on whom we love most. On this lovable day, I'm remembering him. Of course, we used to sit in the same block, an opposite room. I was sitting with him. From him, I learned modeling of ESBM in 1980. He learned from United States Bureau of Mines and used to give that knowledge to us, including me, as a scientist of PMRS at that time. So he is the originator of this type of equation. Why I told this name and organization is, you can write anywhere PR shouting or PMRS selection formula, you will get all these details. Anywhere, in the books, reading, journals, or in the simple Google. 0.27 and compressive strength and the height h to the power 0.36. This is a depth cover capital H by 250 minus 1 and W by H minus 1 is for MPa. This is a empirical formula where S is the strength of the pillar in MPa. This is the strength of 1 inch cube of coal because we used to test in the lab. And for this mine it was 20.8 MPa.
And height of extraction, as you have seen, H is 4.2, depth cover 378 meter, and W is the effective width of the pillar. It is calculated, since it is not a square pillar, it is calculated like this, by 4W1 minus W2 by 2 into W1 W2. So total length of the barrier pillar, and this is the width of the barrier pillar, so 66 meters, and this is a 50 meter in plan. Because why I have written this is, on plan it is 5.2 centimeter and 0.49, and from there is the scale or representative factor we have taken it. And this is the way how we say that yes, this is effective width is 97 meter and strength is 14.65 MPa. In that way, now when you calculate the stress, otherwise the stress can be even through numerical modeling also it can be done. Then we are taking empirical equation. We consider even 0.025 MPa per meter depth as a vertical stress. With all that calculation, now you can see that there is a stress of 9.33 MPa. Right? In that way, when we consider the safety of ribs, with this strength and stress, now you can see safety factor in 16 meter width of the barrier pillar is 14.65 by 9.33, so 1.57 is more than 1.5 is taken up and then considered stable for that situation there. Now, safety of ribs and snooks, how it is calculated. So for that also, since there is no specific equation or empirical equation like a barrier pillar or a pillar strength formula, so we used the model of Clark means finite Lagrange analysis of continua. It's a continuum model, a two-dimensional, three-dimensional model all. It is a finite difference software or modeling, and that is a numerical model for approximate solutions to the problem of any geomechanics or rock mechanics. We do like that. And this is from Itasca Consulting Group of Minnesota, USA, for which one of my juniors from IIT BHU in 1980, our Jay Aglave, I am telling the name is, you can also write somewhere Jay Aglave. There is a Dr. Jay, okay, with whom I was also discussing last week. He is the interpretation on software, applied some of his work on this plant-related software. Now, a simplified two-dimensional geometry of the pillar extraction using plane straight concept is simulated using this flat dimensional details of the modeling part we have taken, like a seam thickness 4.2, pillar 50 by 4.48, barely with 6, roadway height 4.2, depth of cover 380. So in this way, with a horizontal stress and a vertical stress of this. Again, this horizontal vertical stress is estimated, or estimated I should say, GUEST, estimated, assuming that rho GH formula, very simple, and horizontal stress based on our different situations in different countries, right? Again, the credit goes to our beloved on this lovable day, 14th February 2022. I am reminding Dr. P.R. Shauri did a lot of good work, our farmer scientist of CSIR, CMRS. At that time, it was sun reminding station. These are the equations from some of the empirical formulations made with so many types of numerical modeling done by long back. And we are still, they are holding good, and some modifications may be required later in more and more data. So this is the way how these are considered in the model, and now you can see this is a modeling how it was done with the barrier pillar here, right? And this is a coal seam, right? Two-dimensional model. I mean, simulating this much of depth, right? And then width of the panel, in between these are the barriers. Yes, yes. So with that, now you can see this is the way how this visualization is done. Now I am not teaching you all about better control rock mechanics, geomechanics in this class, but you should know the procedures what we are adopting recently in designing the panel, designing the worksheet. That's why I'm showing you, my beloved students, underground coal mining methods MN2102 on this auspicious lovable day Monday. Here we last 40 full years on this day. We should love everybody, our parents and all. Now, as a gallery, now you can see, right? This is a gallery. These are the galleries, black spot, whatever you are seeing, right? And then these are the barriers. When this is a gallery, this is a gallery. When we have this extraction of one panel this side and this another side, these are the barriers in between. Now, you can see by how the stress distribution is around the gallery, right? Snook of 6-meter width and rib of 3-meter width out. The stress is there on different colors. I think you are seeing a beautiful color on this auspicious day, right? But this is showing different stress situation in the ribs and then snooks of 3-meter width and then 6-meter width. With this much MPa, or this shows the Pascal that you must have been seeing here, 1.6 into 10 to the power of 8. That means that much Pascal. Now you can convert into, it can be around 160 MPa, right? Like that it will come. MPM is 1 into 10 to the power of 6 Pascal. So with that, now you can see how much is the stress distribution like this in the model. Otherwise, we are estimating through the empirical formulation of simple rho gauge and vertical stress, and through our some of the formulations made based on observations long back from CMRN, our CSIR lab, where one of our colleagues, Professor and late Dr. P.R. Shore has done excellent work on that. All these names I am telling you so that you can see many references when you write their names. Now, so in that way, strength by stress ratios of ribs and snowfalls, you can see the 60 factors considering so many formulations. So in that way, this is done. Of course, this support system and other things we will be discussing later, but since I am showing you the report, I wanted to show you total so that you need not see again. So this is a place where there was an accident, site accident which took place, where I went there and investigation, you can see here. I hope you are able to see this. For that site, how the site supports are also provided with extra molding in the zigzag manner, whatever. There now you can see even how it was required.
अरे आज कोई ना सर्वना आज देखा पड़ले
So may be required, and even the extra group stitching, other things, how it was done. Of course, this design model and all you will be learning not now, but maybe after your midterm. So I am not going in details into that, but you should know that this type of support is being followed to bolting or support plan at the junction with extra bolts in between, so that we need there may be more load acting at the junction compared to gap. For that, we do not have instrumentation, monitoring, and then how these workings are there. The different instruments, just I am showing you. Some of the instruments are already there here, but these observations and all, I need not explain it at this moment, but showing you how much stress coming on that induced stress. Since we are talking about the stress, I am showing this. Maybe this much, even 250 kg per centimeter square, that means around 25 MPa stress is acting on that, even 60 at different places, I mean, in the barrier pillar 125 level to 126 level. Since I showed you how to design the barrier pillar, I am showing you only the stress part which we measured with the instruments like this stress caps which has a induced stress. Since there is a related event, I am showing you without giving you any stress. It is a sometimes stress is with pleasure and with burden. So this is a pleasurable stress, right? So this is a stress capsule or stress meter, stress cell, roll stress. meter, it is used in measuring this induced stress. Okay, not induced stress, induced. Okay. Now, these are the observations what were there. Based on that, whether it is a stress, whether it is a convergence of the working. Now, like that, even the induced blasting, how we have done it. Now, because this is important aspect, you should know by the now students, that's why I'm showing you. Now it is the induced blasting and details all those things when it was done. Because induced blasting is required when the immediate root is not heavy, right? In time. So that we are giving some type of material inside the go, so that when further fall heaving takes place, it should not lead to lot of air blast or air pressure. That you please note down somewhere. Air blast conditions should be minimized. Otherwise, we have faced lot of accidents when there was air blast, and these are roof fall details in that mine. So I am showing this is we are supposed to have when we start caving method after extraction of some area of extraction like 5,000 square meters. The area of fall is 2,900 square meters, and this was the first fall which took place. And probably the area of fall is 2,900. Hanging rope still at that time is 2,600. That means 2,600 square meters, there is no fall. You just imagine, my beloved students, when you expand around 5,000 square meters and 5,000 square meters into 3 meter height, that is 5,000 into 3, that is 15,000 meter cube of air will be there in that. Very simple. When all of a sudden, if it falls, that much meter cube, 1,000 meter cube of air is supposed to get displaced. Displaced means what? That is getting displaced through the gallery, and that gallery size is only maybe 6 meter by 3 meter or 4 meters. And how much pressure is created, you just imagine. That is what is called a air blast. When it happens within the dynamic weighting within few seconds, then that is leading to the air blast. So that's what just I wanted to show to you in that panel what happened. Okay, and now over to I already shown you how this panel is extracted, diagonal line of extraction following 70 degrees, maybe 45 degrees. It can be in a different manner. You can plan for it. Okay, and now over to our here already I have shown you part of the how this is designed and in the barrier pillar size and other things. Now these equations already I explained there. Now I will take only 1 more minute, and you can ask any doubt or give the answer for any all questions which were asked. These are the model already I have shown you, my beloved students, from the report. Suppose system also I have shown, but now let me break at this moment for any doubt. Yes, my beloved students. Anybody is ready with any doubts? Otherwise, after a minute, somebody should summarize. Yes, over to you. I am taking attention. Any doubts? Now it is 9:59. Now it is a time for the summary. What we could learn today. Summary by whom? Summary by whom? Yes.
Sir, Suryakant.
Summary by Surya, please. Continue.
Sir, we started with some of the details of mines that through case studies of board and pillar and some of the continuous miners which is deployed in the deep learning process. And after that, we discuss some of the processes like and some of the terminologies like gate, which is a electrical switch in the mine, and a box, relays, or other electrical components used in LSDs. Then after that, one questions come. If we have a gallery of a size 4 meter width and blasting of 1.5 meter, then how much coal we can get in the height of 3 meter from the face, from the panel, and from the surface, through the surface. Then we discussed the method of extractions, where there are 3 points which carries the based on the review of the startup behavior, field investigations in the deep learning work, following methods, following the sub panels methods, then splitting and slicing with a 70-degree angle, or we can use 60 or 50 as required according to us. Then pillar splitting into three parts which are known as the fenders. Then then after that, one terminology called that snoke. You showed some of the maps and views of that snoke where they are slice and cut with leaving the reefs through the continuous miner. Then, sir, you asked a question that what is the terminology used for this seal in the underground coal mine. Then we come to the estimations factors in different things like barrier pillars, safety reefs. In the barrier pillar, a empirical formula has been discussed that 0.27 into sigma c, which is the strength of the coal into h to the power minus 0.36 h by 250 minus 1, that formula. Then after that, you showed many of the report of the stress distributions and curves and graphs and the records. Yes, sir. That much we have discussed.
Coming to that field, whatever I said, so that is nothing but whenever there is a magma, when it comes to the surface, that we are calling it as a lava, right? So whenever we have in the earth crust different places, especially since we are talking about coal mining, these are all sedimentary formations. When we have a weak zones, so that may enter into and that will become something like a dike that is cutting across the deep beds. If it is a sandstone bed like this, and if it is cutting across like this, then that is becoming a dike. And otherwise, between the beds, if it is a weak planes are there, and that thing is there like this, the horizontal. There is another bed here, right? In between these, so this formulation. Now we are calling it as a thing. So it is only that. Is what happened. And coming to that 1.5 meter is a general when you are blasting it. It's 3 meter by 4 meter, that is a 12 square meters. 12 square meter is that is around 18 meter cube of coal. This 1.5 has a specific gravity, right? Density coal. So that is 18 plus 9. That is 27. Around 27 tons of coal is produced when you blast one. So this you should have in mind, please, all my beloved students, on this lovable day, Monday, 14th February 2022. With that only, we will move forward to how to plan for how many number of phases, and that phase to be evacuated by which system. And now when you are getting now to make it a more uniform figure or round figure, 25 tons. When you are blasting once, if you get 25 tons, now you need the person, right? If it is by manual mining, purely manual mining, a person cannot load more than 2 tons a day, right? With that, how many persons are required? At the same time, if a person, if a SDL cannot load more than 100 tons per day, means per shift around 30 to 40 tons per shift. So it can handle 1 to 2 phases, working phases. So this is the way how you should decide how many number of working, how much explosive, how many number of persons, and how much coal you can produce, how much production, productivity, and one more example I am giving. When I have 5 working phases, right? So I can blast 5 phases, 1 means now I am getting 1 into 25, 5 into 25, 125 tons of coal. Now I should be able to load that, right? And if you are producing in a shift 125 tons, then how many times, if you are blasting one, so how many times you should blast a phase to get this much production? So to get 250 tons, I should blast one phase twice, right? You cannot blast more than 2 times a phase because of the cycle time. So for that you should know what is the cycle time, half a working. That is how much time it takes for drilling the hole, blasting, dressing, supporting, and then loading and making the place ready. It may take, depending on the technology. If it is a manual mining, it may take 4 hours. It may take even 2-3 hours for semi-mechanized with LSD, maybe less time with LSD, more time with SDL because of crawler and fire mount. So now all these things should be there in your mind. Already you read something about it. Now I have given you this as a food for thought on this lovable day. So I hope you love to plan for this, having this in your mind with pleasure, with love, and a lot of appreciation to different technologies of our underground coal mining for making our India better for underground coal mining in future by you, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods. With this, I am closing for today so that we should not enter into the others class. Already time is over. But today, of course, with love, we exceeded a little bit. Don't worry for that. And sorry, say sorry to other teacher if somebody is waiting. All the best on this lovable day, 14th February 2022, where we last 40 school years and we love like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. First, our loving, living God, parents, and of course, others later. All the best. Once again, before closing, what I should say?
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind.
Oh, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. So now I am closing for today. Sorry if we exceed a little bit time with lots of love. We were together for more time, I think 5 minutes more. I am stopping recording. Take care of COVID-19 and our loving, living God, your parents, take care of them. All the best. Now I am stopping recording. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat once again. And thanking your, who is giving my voice?
Sir,
May I know
Shashwat
his name,
Tripathi.
please?
Shashwat Tripathi.
Shashwat. Shashwat